Welcome back to California Aqua Pros. My name is David. I handle a lot of the video and social media here at California Aqua Pros. And yes, we're doing another video in the forklift. They haven't let me out of here. Jared! Okay. I'll be here for a while. The first few days of this project was actually building a large retaining wall. But instead of using things like larger bricks, we like to use all natural rock. Basically the same kind of rock that our waterfall is going to be made from. And so the guys started digging the basin where basically the whole brains of the operation are going to be, like our basin, and then aqua blocks, and it's all going to be sitting in there with a liner so that the water stays in there, and then the pump in the basin pumps it back up to the top of the waterfall, and it's a reoccurring cycle. And so the customer was also getting their patio redone, and so we had some large flat stones for that, which you'll see at the end, and you'll see what they put on it. But then they carved out the waterfall from the hill how we wanted it, and now it's time to put the underlayment on, which is going to be under our rubber pond liner, which holds in the water. And we basically have this thick fabric so that rocks, future roots, things like that are not going to be puncturing the liner. And obviously they did all the plumbing, you know, running the hose up to the top of the waterfall where we're going to have a spillway, and that is where the water comes down onto the waterfall and it trickles down to the bottom. But you didn't really get to see what happens all under that. Like I mentioned, there was the brains of the operation in this hole that we dug. And so this is basically a diagram of what it looks like. There's aqua blocks that are sort of giving us more space and more room to sort of hold more water, and it's kind of a space filler. And then it's all kept in on the liner. This stuff isn't just like hitting dirt and the water's gonna seep through. It's all held in by our rubber liner, and then the water is gonna end up going into the basin where a lot more water is stored, and then it pumps it back up to the top of the spillway. Hopefully that made a little sense. But again, we had lots of rock. We had those flat stones for the patio, and then we had more of the big rocks for the waterfall, and then we had big boulders that are gonna come in sort of special little details at the end, which I'll talk about. And so they got to work on that. They used sort of more of the smaller rocks and put them in the waterfalls how we wanted it.
What's up, folks? How you doing? Well, today we pretty much finished the whole wall, and it's a boulder wall. Took us quite some time, but we finished it. We pretty much did all the details, all the crevices. We stick the pieces of rocks in so they can you know, interlock with each other. And for today, we're going to be working on the stream, on the waterfall. We're going to be putting the liner, underliner, and a couple of boulders. And yeah, we'll probably have it running maybe next week, so we'll be good on that.
And so a day or two later, they rocked it all in, and we just had the liner sticking out, which at that point, we just call it finishing touches, to where the waterfall technically can now run. We just need to do the finishing touches, cutting back the liner, folding it back in, and covering it up. So by the end, you're not gonna see any of the pond liner, you're just gonna see the rock. And so at this point, they had filled it up with a little bit of water, so they turned it on for me, and we basically saw almost a finished project, but there's a lot more that comes along later when it's finished. But the water coming down again was dirty because, you know, dirt could have fell in the waterfall, and all of these rocks had not been hosed down yet. So there's a lot of this dirt and sort of muck on these rocks that we used. And so in a few days, they're gonna wash all that down, and then that's all gonna end up in the basin. They're gonna pump all that dirty water out of the basin and fill it up with fresh, clean water when everything is washed off, so that when the customer sees it, it's gonna look a lot better. And so we use these big boulders, like I mentioned earlier, sometimes in the actual waterfall, but a lot of times what we do is actually we sink them down maybe 6 to 12 inches, and it looks like just a boulder that's been there for decades that just got, you know, covered up with dirt, and it adds sort of an illusion that this water feature has actually been there for a long time, instead of just, you know, dirt, grass, oh, waterfall right there. But it goes, you know, you got trees all around, different plants, big boulders all around the sides, sort of blending it into the feature, and it makes it look a lot better. And we also do landscaping, so we again added all these different plants around, and we also add lights. We add lights sort of around the yard, but mainly into the actual water feature itself, because a lot of our customers actually like it when they go and look at the waterfall or pond or whatever they got at night when they turn the lights on, and the water feature just looks 10 times better. And it just looks so cool at night, watching all the water trickle down where the lights highlight it. It looks great. But at this point, it's pretty much done. And if you guys even want to have your future pond built by us, you can be in a future YouTube video. Just contact us. All of our contact links are down below if you want small water features. Like we do fountains. We again do ponds, pondless waterfalls like today, and we also do pools. So if you're looking at one, or maybe you're a kid and your parents are looking for one, let them know about us. But let's check out the water feature in 3, 2, 1, let's go. That was an amazing water feature. I hope you all really enjoyed it. Again, if you want to contact us, all our links are down in the description below. Follow us on Instagram and subscribe here on YouTube, and drop a like, but especially a comment letting us know your favorite part of this water feature, and maybe a water feature that you think you would like in the future. So we hope you all have an amazing day. Remember, your dream is our passion, and I will see you guys in another video. How do I get out of this thing? Ah!